Hi folks, Tim Ritter coming at you once again from the Landers Theater. And I'm here because of the fact that back in the mid to late 1970s, there was a show here that was done once a week called the New Ozark Jubilee. They were attempting to kind of resurrect the family music shows that had originally been here in Springfield. And unfortunately, by the time it got to the Landers Theater, it was kind of on its last leg. They weren't getting very many people to show up, and this was kind of the end of it. I don't remember how many shows they did from here, but it was just a few, very, very few, maybe just a handful. But anyway, it was kind of a neat thing to experience, especially as a 12-year-old that kind of thought that he belonged on stage anyway. But anyway, I wanted to share another story or two about some things that happened. By the way, I have a presentation that I give called Music and Mayhem. And in that, I talk about three of the shows that went on here in town that Mom and Dad were involved in. Dad had a band, Mom would sing backup, and by that time my brother Doug was playing drums for Dad's band. So anyway, Music and Mayhem kind of talks about three shows. The Farmerama show that was at Fantastic Caverns. You can still see the stage there if you take the tour of Fantastic Caverns. And then there was another one called the Four Star Opry that was at the Four Star Theater on Commercial Street in Springfield. That theater no longer exists. It burned back in the 70s. And then this new Ozark Jubilee that started out at the Crossroads Auditorium in Nixa. And then it moved here toward the end of its run, and like I say, in the mid to late 1970s. But anyway, as a 12-year-old, I'm getting involved in it. Dad wants to have a little comedy relief in his shows. And so I talked about last time we're pulling a train across the stage, and then there was another time he had me ride a stick horse across the stage when he was doing an old Waylon Jennings song called Ramblin' Man. And then the last time we did it, it was really toward the end, and they had several different guest performers trying to get some more interest in it. Jim McCurdy, who had played the role of the caveman at Fantastic Caverns, he was on stage. I remember him being there that night, and some lady whose name I don't recall, but they were all on stage. But anyway, this lady that was the guest, she was doing this song, this sad song that was popular at the time called Crying Time. It's crying time again, you're gonna leave me, all that kind of stuff, sad, sad country song. And so the idea was that I would be over here off stage, and I had a handkerchief, and I was gonna walk out on stage at the end of the song acting like I'm crying, and I had soaked the handkerchief in water. And so I got out onto the stage at a certain point, and I wrung it out like I'd been crying so much that the handkerchief was soaked. And of course, the funny thing is that I really wasn't thinking too much about it, and apparently neither had Dad, but with all that water and then all the cables on the ground, on the stage from the microphones and the guitars and all that kind of stuff, it could have, really electrocuted somebody, especially me, because I was standing in the water. And I remember Jim McCurdy yelling as I was wringing out the water, hey, we've got cables on the floor here, So anyway, I just wrung out the water and walked off stage acting like I was crying. It was a big hit with the audience, but I didn't realize at the time how much danger I'd put myself in and anybody else. But that kind of ended my stage activities at that point. But anyway, it was such a fascinating experience to be a 12-year-old kid and be in this gorgeous theater and get to run around and discover the balconies and all that kind of stuff. So the Landers has always been a very special place to me, and so I for sure wanted to bring you here to this. I hope you got to see the other videos that I posted about what went on here at the Landers during that show. But anyway, special stuff, and it's all part of, like I say, that presentation that I do called Music and Mayhem that basically talks about Mom and Dad specifically, but all of us kids that were involved in this and kind of tried to make sense of them chasing stardom while trying to raise a family. So anyway, hence the name Music and Mayhem. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and look forward to showing you more little tidbits in the future. Thanks for tuning in.